Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome to this 30-minute yoga practice. It's great to have you here. I am situated on a yoga mat, but if you don't have one, don't let that deter you. You're going to be fine. A carpeted area that's not too slippery is great. Always good to have a chair nearby just for balance or anything else we might do with it. And I've got a couple of blocks. If you've got thick books, those will do the trick. And also a folded blanket. Maybe you've got a throw blanket from your couch or a beach towel that's nice and thick and util. Once you have those things, we'll start in a mountain pose with your short edge or your imagined short edge of your mat facing me. I think that's going to be the easiest for you to see me. I will move around so that you can better see me. You can stay put where you are. So Tadasana, feet hip distance, little bend in your knees. Stand in your mountain. Feel your connection to the earth through your feet. The crown of your head to the sky. And smile your collarbones open as you turn your palms away from one another and let that uplift your heart. There's also a little uplift to our belly. Gaze at the bright horizon in front of you and fill this majesty with breath. Just see if you can breathe through your nose from now until the end of the practice. If that's impossible, all I ask is that there be awareness around your breath. Deep, full inhales and complete exhales. To add to the lift of our heart and the smile to our collarbones, interlace your hands behind your back and drag those knuckles down towards the ground as you lift your heart and lift your low belly. Have a soft bend in your knees and keep looking at the bright horizon so you're not lifting your chin and thinking that that's your heart. Stay for a few moments here. Bend your elbows and tuck your elbows onto your right hip. Keep lifting the low belly. Just imagine a magnet on your elbows, drawing those elbows towards one another a little bit. Continue to smile, your collarbones and anything else that you would like to. And then drag your knuckles down and move your fingers so that the interlace means the other pinky is on the bottom now. Bend at the elbows and take your interlace to the left hip. Lift to the low belly, elbows draw towards each other a little bit. Gaze at your bright horizon. 2 moments. And then interlace drags to the ground and we unlace. A little half sun salutation. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, take your hands onto your thighs. Now inhale as you traction, and we do this often. See if you can find those smiling collarbones in a whole new way. And then exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. And then float your arms alongside you, turn the palms away, still a lift of our heart and a smile to our collarbones. Again, inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart forward, and then exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. Float your arms along your sides. One more time. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Use the traction. Find the biggest smile yet. Exhale, hinge at your hips, and then inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, and float back into your mountain. Step out wide on your mat. I'm going to move my mat a little bit so that you can see me best. If you don't have a mat, just pretend that you're facing the long edge of a yoga mat. And then thumbs to the sky with your arms out to the side. A little bit, not even quite a 45-degree angle. Bring your heels in and your toes out just a little bit. We're coming into a sumo squat, but we're going to have that angle to our feet. Bend your knees for a moment. Just test to make sure that you don't have something that looks too much like this going on, knees way out from your heels. So have a nice wide stance, bend your knees, feel a little bit of stretch into the inner thighs, and then take your hands behind your back and interlace, and then drag that interlace towards the ground. Keep a nice bend in your knees, and then bend your elbows and take the elbows to the right hip. Try to stay with a bend in your knees. I'll give you a break in a moment for that. Magnetize your elbows towards each other. Keep the low belly lifting. Gaze at your bright horizon. 2 moments. And just drag the knuckles towards the ground and straighten your legs slowly. As you do that, stand tall. Even when we straighten our legs, it's not jarring. We're not making it sharp. There's a little softness, an almost microscopic bend to our knees. Now unlace and relace like we did, so the other pinky finds its way to the bottom here. And then bend your knees into our sumo squat. And now bend your elbows and take your interlace onto your left hip and magnetize the elbows towards each other. Lift in your low belly, so we're not turning into a lower back bend. We're smiling our collarbones. We're eyeing our bright horizon. And we're breathing fullness into this shape. 2 more moments. And drag your knuckles down, straighten your legs slowly. We're building some heat on purpose. Now for a moment, turn all toes to face that long edge of your mat. We're going to experiment with our legs somewhat straight, so like we said, not locked out straight, but straight. Arms out to the side, thumbs face down for a moment, and you're going to build either a prayer behind your back or press your fists together as if you were building a prayer behind your back. So if you can take the hands together, and I'll turn my back so that you can see. If you can walk a prayer up your back like this, that's fine. If not, it's fists together, but we're not letting this happen as we create either one. We're smiling our collarbones, that's our story, and we're sticking to it. So first find it here upright. Meet yourself where you are. Smile, because we're doing this together, and it doesn't matter if it becomes the full prayer or the fists together. It's a fist pump to yourself behind your back. Turn your heels in at that slight angle, and then make sure that this doesn't become an arch in the low back. Just like I said, it's not a slump in the upper back. Low belly lifts. It's like we're still sliding into our mountain, but bend your knees. And pause. Once you get to the place where the porridge is just right, breathe into it. Know that you can release the arms or release the legs anytime you need to. You're bringing your heart into the equation. Some of that is the physical uplift of our heart, but always it is the emotional and mental uplift too. So sometimes straightening your legs and letting your arms release would really feed that part of your heart. We'll stay for a few more moments just like this. Do your best. Now slowly straighten your legs. If you can, keep your arms as they are. Like I said, if you needed to release them beforehand, that's no problem. Then turn your toes to face that long edge of your mat. Slowly slide your hands down. Find that interlace towards the ground again. It actually feels great to do here. Collarbones continue to smile. Low belly starts to lift even more maybe. And then arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. And then release your arms along your side. We may want to move some props into the mix, so let's heel toe. So we're hip distance and mobile. Some of you for our next pose will want to use your chair and situate it right here in the middle of your mat so that you can use it for what's called triangle pose. And if you're familiar with triangle, then you probably know which props you like to use. Those of us using blocks, place your blocks they're tallest at the long edge, back edge of your mat, so nothing gets in your way. The mindful placement of props is part of the mindfulness of the practice. Now, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. This is our measuring stick of sorts. Step your legs out wide. It's kind of, sorta, ankles underneath your wrists. And then turn your right leg out so that your right foot faces the short edge of your mat, and cheat your left heel at about a 45-degree angle. What I don't want is a side bend. That's not what we're going for. What I do want is a hinge at your hip. So you can see the crease at my hip gets more so. Reach out with your right hand longer, 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 until you either find the chair seat with your right hand or your tall block placed on the outside of your right heel. Now find a few things from the ground up. Press into your right big toe mound. Find a little dusting of bend in that front knee, even though it's kind of a straight-legged pose. Left thumb to the sky. We're not squishing our shoulders into our ears. And then turn your thumb to face down and weave that top arm behind your back like we did in our prayer position. Let your collarbones smile. Low belly lifts here too, and the bottom ribs are lengthening, and we're turning our chest to the sky. Our wide open heart towards the ceiling. Take a few more moments here. Unwind it slowly and carefully. So first, top arm releases to the sky. Take a look down and bend your right knee. Move your block out of your way, off to the side, and with a firm belly, come upright, thumbs to the sky. Turn all of your toes to face the long edge of your mat, and then second side, turn your left leg out. So it starts at the hip, and then your left foot faces that short edge of your mat. Cheat your back heel at a 45-degree angle, thumbs to the sky. Remember, we're not doing a side bend, so a little bit of sass as you move your hips back behind you and you reach your left arm forward. Make as much length as you can, and then left hand on your block, maybe left hand on the seat of your chair. For the time being, thumb to the sky on the right hand. Let's make sure we're not locked or hyperextended in that front leg. And then right thumb faces down. And almost like that prayer behind our back, weave your top arm behind your back. Check on a few habits. We don't want to scrunch or collapse, so you're not swinging your butt out to the side. Keep the left hip hugging underneath you. Rotate your chest to the sky. And then just enjoy. Just chew on the sensations for a few moments here. Deep inhales and complete exhales. 2 more moments. Now free your right arm to the sky, thumb to the sky. Bend your front knee so that you have a little bit of leverage to firm through your belly and come upright. You can kind of move your blocks out of the way, on your way. Turn all of your toes to face that long edge of your mat. And then turn your right leg out. Let that right foot face the short edge of your mat. Cheat your left heel into our 45-degree angle. So same stance, different pose. Thumbs to the sky, bend your front knee. Now, when we bend the knee, we just want to measure. I often need a little bit more length front and back, so you might benefit from that too. Lengthen out, forearm across the thigh, thumb to the sky. Now feel your right hip swing underneath you. You have a karate chop onto your thigh. I don't want it to collapse. And I'm going to offer this for maybe a few of you. I don't want anybody's head lower than their hips. So we start with that. But if you have a tall block nearby and you want to use your tall block on the outside of your heel, some of you might start to move in that direction as well. Not collapsed, not hand on the ground. So if that's going to happen, stay with the forearm across the thigh. And then thumb faces down on our top arm and we leave it behind us. And we uplift our heart, smile our collarbones, and breathe. Try to feel the right thigh bone magnetized to the right side of your mat so it's not collapsing inward. And imagine that you're standing in mountain pose in your back leg. 2 more moments exactly as you are. Unwind the top arm, thumb to the sky. Be mindful on the exit, especially if you have ventured into using your block. So look down, firm through your belly, move that block off to the side, warrior 2 for all of us. So whether that was a forearm across the thigh or a hand on a block, lower your arms, straighten your front leg, turn all toes to face that long edge of your mat. And then second side, left leg turns out, left foot's facing the short edge of your mat. Right heel cheats back, thumbs to the sky. Bend your front knee. We should be okay spacing wise, but maybe little adjustments want to happen. It's all good. Forearm across the thigh. Right thumb to the sky. No sign of collapse. No swinging out of the hip. Totally great to stay just like this. If the block is nearby and it makes sense in your body and you promise me that your head doesn't go lower than your hip, then you can start to situate your left hand on that tall block. Top thumb faces down. We weave our arm behind our back, whether that's forearm across the thigh or a very highly elevated block. And then we start to magnetize the left thigh to the left. Swing the left hip underneath you. Rotate your chest to the sky. No sign of collapse anywhere. Back leg feels like it's standing in mountain pose. Low belly is lifting towards your spine for some trunk stability here. A couple of moments of stillness and quiet. Careful on our exit. Right arm up to the sky. Take a look down, firm through your belly, whether it's forearm across the thigh or hand on the block. Slowly upright to warrior 2, thumbs to the sky, and then straighten your front leg. Turn all of your toes to face the long edge of your mat. Go slow, heel toe, till we're hip distance, and we can move around with ease. Mindfully, move your props off the mat and out of your way. And then come to the front edge of your mat, or space, as the case may be. Feet hip distance. I'm going to angle myself a little bit so you can see what I'm up to here. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Bend your knees, so we're not letting the knees get loaded here. Shift back and down. Low belly is lifting. And then stand and float your arms along your side. Great. One more time like that. Bend your knees, thumbs to the sky. Shift your weight back and down and into the heels, right? Not loading the knees, not into the toes. And then straighten your legs and float your arms alongside you. Adding something from earlier to what we're doing now. Either fists behind you, we're still not collapsed, right? Or weave that prayer behind your back. So 2 things that we want to be cautious of. We're not collapsed, the collarbones are smiling. Low belly is lifting, and then remember how we shifted back and down. Play with finding a chair with your hands tied behind your back. And then slowly straighten your legs. Keep the low belly intact, so lifting towards the spine. One more time. Bend your knees, pause, smile a little bit maybe, and then straighten your legs. This time we're going to stay a little bit longer. Bend your knees, pause, shift back and down. Doesn't have to be a big bend in your knees. Collarbones wide, breath steady, just 2 more moments. Now keep your arms, just straighten your legs. If you're willing, close your eyes. If that's a little too much, just soft gaze to the ground. Soft bend in your knees, even though it's not the bend that we just came from, and low belly is lifting. 2 more moments. So good. So slowly release. Find the interlace and drag the interlace down, but still stand tall. A half sun salutation to take us to the floor. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, good Lord, those smiling collarbones. Exhale, hinge at your hips a little bit more. Hands to the base of your chair might be helpful, or onto the blocks. But we make our way onto the ground. I'm going to move this chair so it's not in the way of you seeing me. Make your way to your belly. And once you're on your belly, bring your forearms onto the ground. Now as we do this, we're still not collapsed into shoulders and ears and such. Chin is parallel to the ground. You're still seeing the bright horizon even from down here. Traction your elbows towards you. Find those extraordinary smiling collarbones. Low belly is lifting. We're not mistaking our uplift of our heart for the uplift of our chin. Press into the tops of your feet. It almost feels so energetic that your kneecaps lift. Low belly, you can feel it lifting against the ground. 2 moments here in Sphinx pose. Now, lower down, make a pillow with your hands, bend your knees. And gently, carefully, windshield wiper your legs side to side here. You can rest your forehead on your hands. If I do that, the sound in my microphone will not be a good one for you. So I'll stay here. And then one more time, feet on the ground, so toenails are pressing. And I give you the option of returning to Sphinx like we did, or situating your hands next to your ribs, elbows in, not out. And then traction into a little bit of a back bend here. Low belly lifting. Think about the longest, strongest back bend. Remember, we're not mistaking our chin for our heart. 3 moments, just like that. Keep breathing. So awesome. Gently release down. Make a pillow with your hands and do your little side to side windshield wipers. And then roll over on your back. And it's almost like our windshield wipers just turned upside down or right side up, depending on how you want to look at it. Cactus your arms out to the side. Just make sure props are out of the way. I'm mostly saying that for me right now. And then feet as wide as your mat. Windshield wiper over to the right. So that's what I mean is like our windshield wipers just flipped right side up. And then come down the middle, knees face up to the sky, and cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. This is plenty right here. If you like either an interlace or your bottom foot onto a block, you could do either or neither. And you also might like something underneath your head, a block, a folded blanket. Now make sure that we don't lose our smiling, heart-opening collarbones here. So snuggle the shoulder blades underneath you. Avoid a struggle. Maybe that means putting the foot back down on the ground. Let your jaw relax. Your face, your muscles around the eyes. A full silent minute of meditation here. Excellent meditation. Slowly unlace if that is you. Place your feet down. Make sure that if the block was something under your foot, it's off your mat for now, because we're going to take our twist on the other side. So feet are as wide as your mat. Windshield wiper over to the left. Pause. Just a couple moments here. And then bring it back upright. Left ankle on top of right thigh, and you can stay just like this. If you want to thread the needle or put your foot back on that block, just bring the block back onto your mat and pause. One minute of silent meditation here on this side. You can do it. Excellent work. Now, carefully come out, unlace. Definitely move the props off to the side and place your feet as wide as your mat. Arms along your side now. Snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. And we always talk about this, but we did such a shoulder opening, collarbone smiling practice today. Find that here in your Shavasana final meditation too. And then with your feet wide, just carefully lift your hips up so that your tailbone can lengthen, and either stay here with your knees kissing or extend one leg and then the other leg straight. Fall into the floor. Maybe even close your eyes. The rest and digest of Shavasana, final meditation. And if you have the time to stay a little longer here in your Shavasana, please feel free to do so. If you're ready to come back, move fingers and toes. Maybe stretch your arms and legs in opposite directions and then bend your knees into your chest. Roll carefully to either side. And come up to any comfortable seat. Once you're seated and comfortable, feel the smile. Yeah, of your collarbones, but the deeper rumblings of a smile that yoga brings, so that you can wear both smiles out into your day and share them with those that you bump up against. I'm Andrea. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I look forward to seeing you to do it again soon.